Hello, and thank you for joining us today here at the O'Rourke Report. Let me start out by saying if you want to be notified every time we put new content up, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and also hit the like button. So important, scribe, notification, like, and you will not miss anything that comes up. All right, let us jump right into. We're going to do something new. If you noticed, if you hover over the timeline at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see chapters, so you'll know what we're discussing and when we're discussing it. And if you want to jump forward to something that you're more interested than something else, great. Take advantage of it, and that's something new, and we're going to be doing that all the time. So anyway, for today, we are going to be looking at two new trailers. We're going to be looking at, after that, we're going to be discussing this great little real estate show, which used to be a terrible little real estate show, but is now a great little real estate show. It went from Netflix over to Max, called Selling the Hamptons. We're going to have a little tiny little recap of OC. And the last section is going to be something I'll try to do every week, just called Odds and Ends, little tiny little observations that that we're going to, just put our 2 cents in about. So anyway, let's go right to the trailers. All right, let's see. We had Salt Lake and we had RHONY. Both of them, I'll tell you, who's ever doing the trailers, looked really good. I thought with, let's see, with the Salt Lake one, well, one of my notes here, Salt Lake's really going to have quite a uphill climb this year, considering what a bang they left last year with. I mean, literally, it was a nationwide story. Heather Gay quotes were being used in the Congress by on some committee. I got timelines. I got screenshots. I mean, it's in the pantheon of housewife things. It's right up there with the table flip and a couple of other things. She obviously, Heather Gay, she's a big girl. She's a little stocky. She's very similar to a build of Emily. I always go on about Emily, hoping that she will get clothes that fit her rather than try to fit herself into clothes. And evidently, Heather's been on the Ozempic, because there's one shot of her in the trailer where the face is gaunt. She doesn't look healthy, doesn't look good, doesn't look like her. I hope she watches this and say, gee, maybe I overdid it. And put some of the weight on and fill her face out a little bit. The other part of the Salt Lake trailer that I really kind of loved was evidently a little snippet there of Meredith getting called out by Mary Cosby. Very interesting, because Meredith likes to think she's so above the fray. You can leave, or I will talk about the nastiness. Well, it was kind of nice to see Mary Cosby. She got into Mary's crosshairs because Mary don't play, and so that's going to be interesting. We strangely have another Bronwyn who has found her way to Salt Lake City. This one again is a very affected, very similar to Meredith Marks. She wears the ridiculous clothes and preens around. She obviously loves the attention, very much like Ayan Chanel from Dubai. They're all about stealing everybody else's thunder with their crazy outfits. Okay, so we're going to have another one of those. That should be interesting to watch. And what else do I have on Salt Lake? That's all I have on Salt Lake, but it looked really good. So on RHONY, I thought it was a Real Housewives of New York. I thought they start off, who was the crowd favorite last year. They start off with Jessel being Jessel. Evidently something about pigeons is going to be a running theme through through the season, and New York does have their pigeons. We're going to be introduced to Rebecca Minkoff, who very similar to what's her name? Similar to the one from J. Crew. Why? Hold on one second. This is terrible. Oh, for God's sakes, Jenna Lyons. Similar to Jenna Lyons, Rebecca Minkoff, extremely successful. She's got I think a company, it's accessories. In the trailer, Bryn makes a snide comment about her accessories being found. I think she said in on Nordstrom's rack, which I guess in the world of fashion means, I don't know, Filing's basement. I have no idea. But you can't take away from Rebecca Minkoff that she's very successful in the business. She's also someone whose family is super, super, super high up there on the old Scientology ladder bridge or whatever things they call it. So, and at one of the little snippets in the trailer, evidently there's some kind of discussion going on about that. It's going to be interesting to watch. We'll see how they handle that. Looks like there's some marital issues coming up for Erin, which is too bad because I really thought they were a nice couple. But boy, this fame is a terrible thing. I don't know why any of these women want to strive for it. I think a lot of them do it for business reasons. Um, Everybody chasing the Holy Grail, thinking they'll be another Bethany Frankel who sells their business for $100 million. Lightning struck once. I don't know if it strikes multiple times. I think there's. Oh, I'll tell you this. This is an aside. I have a friend of mine whose daughter is going to, and I forgot the name of the school, but it's the same. It's down in Florida. It's the same school that Teresa Giudice's daughter Melania is going to, and they had student orientation. All the parents were down there. And evidently, according to my friend, there were several places down in and about campus where you could do a meet and greet with Teresa Giudice. I mean, this is what a lot of these women are stuck doing. I'm sure her husband Louis is out there hustling around, bringing her to the corner Starbucks where you can meet and greet Teresa Giudice. So I thought that was funny. I mean, it's not all about you going to school, Melania. It's about mommy out there getting some coin. So both trailers looked fantastic. Really looking forward to that. And so let's go on to the fantastic real estate show that used to be a terrible real estate show. And I'm talking about a show that is streaming on Max. It's I think Discovery Plus owns it, and you can get it on Discovery Channel or you can stream it on Max. So there's two places you can see it. It is what used to be on Netflix probably 3 years ago, called, when it was on Netflix, it was called $1 Million Beach House. It's set in the Hamptons. And when it was the Netflix iteration, it wasn't very good. Uh, the main angle of the show, it was a local real estate agency in Southampton where two of the agents are guys, broskies, that grew up together, think they have an inside track on everything, and will never waste a minute of telling you that to tell you that over and over and over again every time the camera's on them, how they have an inside track. But gee, then why is it the girl from who came in from New York is down out there selling, and she beats them every time? So there's the friction. There's the broskies teaming together trying to take the girl down, and they just weren't likable. There was also I think there was some underlying tones of some racial strife because there was another agent in the office who was African American, I think, and the Broskis, banded together. It just wasn't nice, and Netflix didn't renew it. Netflix had dropped the show, but apparently it's been picked up, dusted off, shined up a little bit. The executive producer is a guy named Tony DeSantos, who I think was also in Laguna and The Hills, and it's got some, reality show bona fides, successful bona fides on reality shows. It's now called Selling the Hamptons, and the two bros are in there, and the female agent is in there. A couple of new cast members. We find out that the agency is owned by Nest Seekers, and if you remember, Ryan Serhant worked for Nest Seekers the last couple of seasons. He was on Million Dollar Listing New York. So what we have is we have the New York office and the owner of Nest Seekers, this guy named Eddie Shapiro, really shining a light on what's going on down in the Hamptons office because it's not producing the way it should produce. But so what you really get a sense of is what really goes on in the back office with a bunch of agents who are really competitive with each other, not really friends. And I've never seen anything like it. I mean, every night I was like, oh, I can't wait to binge two or three more episodes tonight. And I binged the whole thing probably in 5 or 6 days. I mean, it's 2 seasons, 8 episodes each, and I've never seen anything like it. It was so compelling. It was gripping, and I'm giving it a rave. I am saying if you tuned it in thinking you already saw it on Netflix and you didn't like it because you see the cast, they have, I don't know what secret sauce they poured on it. The editors changed, or obviously they changed, and wow, it's in the hands of people who know how to cut these things and how to bring out dramatic stories. So, can recommend it highly. All right, what do we have next? Let's go into let's go into the OC, which was kind of meh. We're seeing the same thing that we saw with Jersey. You have the two sides. With Jersey, you have the Teresa side and the Melissa side. In the OC, you have the Shannon side and you have the Tamara side, and it's all and then you have that Alexis Bolito in there who's so in love with that Johnny. Today's Instagram, apparently they are engaged, and God love them. I hope it is a happy, wonderful marriage. I mean, who would want that for somebody? But something that is geared towards reality television, well, I just hope it works out for them. So, yeah, that's about what the OC has devolved into. I will say that, as I've said before, everybody can acknowledge that Channing does have an issue. She's trying hard to get the skills to conquer the issue. And I'd much rather fall on the side of compassion for Shannon, as you see coming from Gina and Emily and Heather Dubrow, than what you're seeing coming from Tamara's side, who really, Tamara's number one person is her and her camera time and making sure she keeps this gig, because she lost this gig one time already, and she'll move heaven and earth to make sure she doesn't lose it again. And she knows to do that. She has to do that with controversy and drama and name calling. And she does that. She does that very well. So let's go on and finish up with our odds and ends. And I only have two little odds and ends things. I have, we do see Tracy Tudor's stylist. Apparently, it's somebody who works on her team in her real estate office. And he, hold on one second. He was the one that she called into her closet to say, well, gee, what should I wear? And he's the one who selected her clothes. So, while we can't, the only way we could really blame him full time is if he's the one who is the buyer or the one who selected all her clothes, because, given the choice of what she put out there, there was not a good one in the bunch. And So anyway, I love Tracy Tudor, and from the little bit I see on TV, I think she's a real nice person, and anyone would be lucky to have her as a friend. But maybe she should not have her worker be picking out her clothes. And I'm going to end with another one of my favorites. She's from Dubai, my Carolyn Stanberry, who apparently is the only one who knows how to dress properly for the occasion. She's done this on several times. She wears the right shoes for what they're doing. The other women all insist that they have to have these crazy stiletto heels on, that they're super uncomfortable in, and they can't walk in if they're on anything other than a flat concrete surface. They had something at a polo match, and the women were all dressed beautifully, but there was a section in the match where, I guess in halftime or whatever, I don't know what they're called in polo, where they had a scavenger hunt that was on the pitch, so that they would have to be walking on the field, and everybody, of course, is sinking in and can't get very far. But Carolyn has got the proper shoes on to walk on a polo pitch. God love her. She does it right. So anyway, that's all I have for today. And again, I thank you so much. And if you like what you see, you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and I will see you the next time here on the O'Rourke Report.